these are the assumption what ChatGPT has considered. The first is A1 to A10. The guardhouse external footprints is taken as 3 to 3 meter. You can see this on the drawing as well, that this is 3 meter into 3 meter. Okay, so these are the assumption that been taken. So finish internal clear dimension are taken as 2.7 into 2.4 mm from the dimension strings. Internal height is 2.6 meter. How we know that the internal height is 2.4, right? That is the, he must take this from here. Okay, so he also tells you that how he get the height. Internal height 2.6, roof slab, top is 2.75, exactly the same thing, what I was just trying to explain you, that if I open this portion, so this is for the height, of course, you can use section and elevation. So this is the section. So it says 2.75 mm top of the slab, but it says internal height is 2.6 meter, roof slab is 2.75. So this is he's talking about, and parapet top is 3.10. Okay, so what he did, he minus this thickness of slab, that is 15, and when he minus 15 from 2.75, it is 2.6 meters. Then we have sidewalk is assumed, we already discussed it. External wall build-up is taken as 150 cmu plus 50 mm rigid insulation plus 100 mm CMU, right? So this is, they're talking about the block, CMU blocks. So this is 100 mm thick CMU, 50 mm thick rigid insulation, and 150 mm thick CMU. So there are two layers. This is one layer. So this is one layer. This is second layer. And in between these two layers, there is an insulation, right? So this is their assumption. So then A6 is workstation floor is treated as an L-shaped area. So 2.7 into 1.6, 1.05 into 0.8, 15, right? So toilet floor is taken as 1.5 into 0.8. So these all, the final thing is NRM2 groupings are simplified for tender takeoff. Detail workstation coding should be added one specifications are issued. So it's still asking to get the specifications done, right? So this is very important thing. And to make these kind of things, you need a lot of time and effort so that you could be able to demonstrate it. But ChatGPT did this for us without any much effort. We just gave the prompt and ChatGPT make everything for us. So unquantified RFIs. Still, ChatGPT identifies those items that isn't quantifiable. That we ask ChatGPT that if you cannot quantify something here, items you cannot quantify, give advice shortcomings in the drawings, right? So this is what I asked ChatGPT to do here. That's why I was just trying to communicate you that your prompt is very important. If we remove this prompt, if we remove this text from our prompt, ChatGPT will not make this for us. So this whole sheet is only made because we instruct ChatGPT that items you cannot quantify, give advice, shortcomings in the drawings, right? So what he's doing, RFI means request for information. For example, we have this drawing, right? And we are not getting some information in the drawing because drawings are something that is keep repeating, revised, developed so that you can get the complete outlook of the work that should be executed on the site. So if as a quantity surveyor, you don't understand something, you need clarification on the point. For example, the sidewalk, you need to clarify. Now, officially what you will do, you will create a problem, you will identify the problem, then you will document that problem and send to the client. So when you send this to the client or the engineer, then he will be able to respond on that. He will clarify whether we have this 800 mm sidewalk is there or it is not there. So as you can see, it mentioned the discipline as well. So structural is not part. We are mostly focusing on architectural finishes, doors, and windows. For example, if I am going to talk about RF04, so it says sidewalk thickness, reinforcement, joints, and sub-based are not shown, right? So as I told you that on the architectural drawing, you will not see this reinforcement, joint, sub-base. So, but uh, ChatGPT is something that is not up to the mark. That's why human interference is quite important. So you see this, okay, that's fine, but you cannot raise RFI based on the architectural drawing, because this will be stupid in other sense, because this detail you will find on the structural drawing. So this also is not relevant because this is not part of our discipline. So our discipline is mostly architectural finishes and roof. So if we go to finishes, what it says: tent system, tile sizes, adhesive, grout, skirting height, and render thickness are not stated, right? So tender rate required assumptions, issue finishes specification. So what it says, that what is the impact? So commercial impact means that when you talk about commercial, it's mean you are talking about money, right? So money means that contractor is trying to earn money, try to get profit. If he is unable to identify these things, there will be a problem. What is that problem? Problem will be simple, and the problem will be that he will not be able to get the required profit because he missed some item, he missed some information, right? So what action basically that ChatGPT is asking me to do is issue final specification, finishes specifications, right? So I create a letter and I'll send this to the client, and then client will give me these documents so that I could be able to, you know, accurately quantify and price the item. Then we have doors, windows. So whatever ChatGPT has done is good, but it's not relevant. These items are not relevant. This item is not relevant. So you need to see that what is more relevant for you. In order to understand that, of course, you need to have a background in the engineering and quantity surveying. Okay. So from here, you will filter out, and then you will go back to your drawing and try to identify that whether I should really need to raise this point or ChatGPT. I could not rely on ChatGPT. That's mean you cannot fully copy and paste from the ChatGPT. But this gives you quite information that will help you to identify what you need. Then we'll go to openings. Openings mean doors and windows, right? So it make a schedule for us. It gives the width, height, and numbers. So it's already quantified, right? So it also gives the area as well. So for taking of purpose, for example, if you quantify the wall quantity, then you can simply minus these from the wall so that you can get the net area, right? So this is how it works. So within a few time, within under 1 hour, we did everything, right? We have all the things. The only thing what we need is, we will just, for example, I don't need this substructure, just delete it. You don't need it at this point. Okay. External walls, whatever is relevant for you, keep it. Whatever is not relevant for you, just leave it. Okay. So if you don't understand anything, of course, you can go back to ChatGPT and explain ChatGPT. Okay. So these assumptions are quite important. Later on, maybe after 1 year, you open this file and you don't understand things. So you will go to check the assumptions, that what is the assumptions of measurement basis for you. So this is very important document. This will very helpful for you to identify the concerns in the drawing, right? So these openings is also helpful. Just keep it with you when we will develop our estimation accurately. This is very general way that I show you. When we do it more accurately, then we will use these different sort of items. Okay. So if I go back to ChatGPT and I'll cancel it, right? So as you know that we got something in here when we asked something. So now in the second lecture, what we will do, we will try to further enhance our takeoff, right? Based on this prompt, right? So this prompt is, if you want, I can now re-review the drawing as a professional estimator. Okay. So we will ask specifically more things to do on behalf of us.